Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo.
And welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me, as always, is Todd Stark.
It's Labor Day weekend.
It is. So happy Labor Day to all you people listening today. Hope you're enjoying a day off. If you're not, well, then I guess you don't work in one of those industries where that allows it.
Yeah, you work for hell.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like at least we get Monday off.
Yeah, so I mean, at least we're sitting at home right now, enjoying ourselves, probably sleeping in right now, depending on when you're listening to this.
I'm pretty damn sure I'm sleeping in.
So if you're up at 6 o'clock right now going, why do I got to be at work? Just know that we're thinking about you while we sleep.
I'm dreaming about you. I'm not thinking about shit.
So how's your week been?
It's been extremely long.
I don't want to agree with that. I mean, it's kind of been a little draggy, but not too much.
I think it's the point that the last 2 days drug out, and I think that's why my impression of this week is it was long.
Okay, I can understand that. Yeah. I mean, it kind of flew. I don't want to say it flew by, but it wasn't dragging either. It was just like, it's another week. I got to put up with this. I got to put up with that, and so on and so forth. So it wasn't too bad for me.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. Yeah. It's like I said, I guess I was just waiting for the day to be over.
But I understand. I mean, we were in two different areas, so that whole idea of time placement or how we view it, so to speak, if time can be viewed outside of a clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
I have played 2 games this week, and one of the games you're going to talk about later, and I'm going to take the time to talk about one right now.
Okay.
Dead Cells.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do your review now?
I'm going to go... That's the special of the Labor Day special.
Okay.
If I could spit it out.
That's perfectly fine. 2
game reviews in one show.
That's right. In fact, if you look at our little icon, you see a mishmash of both. I think I did a pretty good job on it. But,
I think it was awesome.
You know, it's for the public to decide. I think it looks pretty cool. It was a clever little way to do it.
It was.
But anyway.
How long did it take you?
I'd say a couple hours, just to kind of get the idea in motion, try to figure out how to go about it, and so on and so forth, and combine the two. But
right.
Anyway, no, go ahead. Go ahead and do your review.
Here is my take on Dead Cells. First off, from the very beginning, I felt like just nostalgia from the get-go when whatever it is, I guess it's some kind of infection, drops from the thing, hits the floor of the prison that you're in and crawls into your body, and reanimates you, right? So the first thing you do is you go talk to this knight. I don't know if they're a guard or what. And they're like, oh, you're the headless guy. So I guess, I don't know why the hell that comes up. But, it does. And the first thing you'll notice is how good and smooth and quick everything moves. It's not janky at all, like old school, like Castlevania.
Yeah.
Janky at some point. Really good game. But at some point, you're like, oh, I really could have made that jump, but I didn't hit the button soon enough. Sure. None of that. There's none of that. Nice. There's no slowdown when there's a lot of enemies on screen like back in the day, which it shouldn't be with these consoles.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be.
But that's the first thing I noticed was how good everything moved. The graphics, they're the old 8-bit style, I guess you could say. Really cool. Like I said, it took me back. It really felt like I was looking at an old Castlevania game. That was the first one that kind of came to me, Castlevania.
It's in that same style.
Yeah,
right?
it's Metroidvania. It's what do you call it?
Procedurally generated?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
that word, yeah. It's that. So every time you start over, it's a little different. And I like the way they do it. There's your goal in this thing is to collect dead cells. When you kill enemies, you'll get these glowing orbs every now and again. And you try to make it to this next checkpoint into like I remember the first one was like something condemned. I can't remember. It's like you're in a forest.
Yeah.
And on your way through there, you stop and you talk to this guy, and or he's not a guy. He's got some kind of big syringe on his back. But you start unlocking these things, right, with your dead cells. And the next goal is to get to the next area, like the toxic sewers or something like that. And like we just said, the map changes, so they're in different places every time. And if you die in the process, say you have, the other day I had 45 dead cells. I died and lost every one of them, right?
So this kind of has a Bloodborne, Dark Souls kind of thing going
but
for
you
it.
can't go back and get them. I was wondering about that today because when you die, they just kind of splatter and they hang on the floor right there, and you're like, oh, can I go back and get that? But no, you can't.
Okay.
Or I haven't. You might be able to. I haven't been able to find it. But every so often you can unlock things like I just unlocked this one thing where there's these little. It looks like the things that crawls in you, and when you go next to them, it says hit R1 to tickle it. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to tickle it. Well, I unlocked this mutation, or I can't remember if it was a mutation or some kind of upgrade. I can't remember exactly what they call it. But vines grow out of it, so it allows me to go to the areas that I couldn't get to before.
Okay.
And when you die, you actually get to keep that. So you have that from then on. There's other things too. There's one thing you go up to and it says hit R1 to rub it, and like all this electricity comes out. I don't know what that does yet, so I haven't unlocked that part yet. I have played this thing probably 30 times. When they say it's hard, it is very challenging. It's not challenging in like the point to where like it's so frustrating. They don't give you a lot of energy.
Okay.
Or blood or life, I guess. So your goal is you can get these upgrades as you go along, and like the first thing I did, I was like, screw all the stuff to upgrade my weapons at this point. And the first thing I did was, I tried to upgrade my life, and that's the times I've got the furthest on that game. It was because I did that.
Gotcha.
And then you unlock more weapons as you go, and just certain things. And you'll play this game, like you'll look at the time, and you haven't played but like 15, 20 minutes in a life is really good, I feel like. Because you can die so easily. I've probably died, I don't even know how many times I went through it. It's so I can't stop playing it. But I did stop to play the game you're going to talk about later. Okay. Every so often, because I wanted to have a good feel of it for conversation later. Yeah. And of the two, I like this one better.
Fair enough.
And I would recommend it to anybody that's looking for just a great indie game to go play. Just get Dead Cells. It's like 19. I think it might be $24. Well worth the money. Drop your money. 2 fat thumbs up from me.
I mean, I've heard it's universally across the board. I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
No, it is awesome.
So I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. I haven't yet.
I was thrown off at first when they was like, it's extremely hard. But it's not that kind of hard. Like there's hards to where like, why did they do that?
Yeah,
I can't believe they did that. Why I can't. Kind of like Ninja Gaiden hard at that one part where you never figured out in the whole game you don't want to get hit by anybody, but that one time you got to get hit to get to this part.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. I haven't come across that. It's just the fact that it's permadeath. It changes when you come back, and the controls are so good. It's not. I can't figure out why they would. I mean, I know why they're saying it's hard, but I haven't. It's not a gripe. It's not a bad thing that it's that kind of hard.
It's a good kind of challenging.
Yeah, good kind of challenging, and it's feels very nostalgic.
Good.
So I think you should play it. If you don't play it, probably won't talk to you anymore.
Well, I'll play it at some point. Yeah. As you know, I have a backlog I'm trying to catch up on.
I do too. I really kind of like the last couple of weeks when we took our break. I got through a lot of my backlog. Yeah. I still have a lot left.
Oh yeah, so do I.
But I got through a lot of it.
I mean, I'm inching my way through it. But Spider-Man's going to put a crimp on that. Yeah. So, but anyway, I did finally beat Metal Gear Solid 5, or at least I beat the first ending. I never got the true ending because once I got there, I looked ahead, as far as what they offered me. Right. Because it was like you have story missions, and then you have extreme versions of missions you've already played. Right. And I thought, okay, well, if I just play the story missions and I don't have to play the extreme stuff, I'll just continue on and just do that because I can just pick and choose and be done with it. No, I have to beat all of it. So I said, you know what? I'm done.
Right.
I've beat the game technically. I'm satisfied.
Was the ending satisfying?
I feel like that there should be more because it did kind of give you a to be continued kind of scenario. So I was like, well, and that's where I was almost tempted to kind of continue to see what the story was. But again, I'm not playing extreme versions of missions I've already done. I was just like, I don't have the patience for this.
I felt like they were already extreme versions.
They are, yeah. I mean, I know that there are numerous ways to do it, but I'm just not in the mood for more challenge right now. Not like that.
Right.
You know, for something I've already done.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm fed up. I'm done. Played a game I'm going to review later, which everyone should know by now by looking at the icon. If you looked at the icon.
They did.
And I also played, because I was trying to find time to kill in between now and Spider-Man. So I started on the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2. Mm-hmm. Got through Mega Man X 5, which I'd never played. And
is it good?
That patience, man, where it would just throw that bullshit at
That's
me.
the bullshit that makes you mad.
Yeah.
Dead Cells does not have any of that.
There were just these spots in there that was like, why? Why? You know?
Yeah.
And I just couldn't understand it. And I don't want to like cheat right out of the gate, but these games have gotten me to the point where I look up the ultimate armor code immediately.
Do it.
So I at least have some sort of protection.
Right.
To go in because the game's still hard. It just kind of gives me a buffer. Uh-huh. And damn, dude, there were just so many moments in there it was just like, I've got ultimate armor. I've got this. Why am I still dying? You know, it was just that kind of frustration that you couldn't understand because they don't make it easy for you. And what made it even worse is I was going to try, and right now I'm not even sure I'm going to. I'm just kind of in a state of limbo where I'm like, you know what, let me beat the games and then I'll figure it out later.
Right.
Where I was wanting to try and platinum this one like I did the first one.
Right.
Because I felt like the first one there was a potential for it. This one has some of the most bullshit trophies I've ever seen in my life. There was just like, I don't know how to do this without hurting my hand, throwing my controller. For example, I think it was an X5, and this is one of those challenges I was trying to do. Nothing you change, whether it be on rookie mode or the armor you're wearing, is going to change the fact that you have to get through this certain area a certain way. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Mega Man 2, Quick Man? His stage, and you're dropping through all these holes, and these little lines are just shooting at you, and you get hit once, boom, you're dead.
You're just kind of zooming down, right?
Yeah. And you gotta move, you gotta push. This is the same thing. It's like they were paying homage to that. Even the trophy is like, you're quick, man. So it's paying homage to that. I don't know how to get through it that fast because it's not laid out the same way. It's just in this way that if you make one fatal mistake, you're done.
Right.
And I tried so many times and kept coming back to it thinking maybe this time will be it. And I started finding a pattern. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. But the way you have to do this trophy is not to beat it, you know, just in general.
Right.
But you have a weapon that you can use called the Darkhold, which is essentially no different than Flashman's power from Mega Man 2 where it stops time. Mm-hmm. Same thing, and you can just use it and zoom right through it. They want you to get through that without using that. And I'm like, I can get so far, and then I'm done. And I lost my patience with it, and I was like, I just want to beat this game, and I'm going to continue on.
When you say you platinumed the first one, do you mean the X collection, the first one?
The X collection that I reviewed.
How many games was in that one?
4.
So well, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, I mean, and they would throw in little challenges that I didn't feel were impossible to get. Especially the fact that you can go back and do it on rookie mode. That way you don't have to play through the entire game and put up with that frustration. You can just say, all right, I just need to get to this, barrel through it as quick as I can, and then boom, there it is. You know, but this game's not giving me that same thing. There's another trophy on there that it's luck based. And those kind of trophies are bullshit to me. Luck based. Like you have to it's sheer luck if you get it. Because in the game, Mega Man X5, I have barely started on 6, so I can't speak for it yet. But for this, there's a story going on in the game, which again just compounds to some of the stress that you're already under trying to beat the game as you're on a timer because something's crashing down onto Earth.
Right.
And you have X amount of hours to take care of this and beat it, or I guess find the solution to stopping it before it crashes on Earth. To do that, you have to beat all the bosses. Every time you go into a stage, that's 1 hour dropped. So if you come out and then go back in, that's another hour taken away. So you have to be very careful about what you do. So if you're stuck on a level and you want to come back out and try another one, you're going to lose an hour.
How many hours do you have?
I think it's 16.
And there's how many bosses? 8 still?
8.
Yeah.
So you at least can allow yourself 2 hours per boss, give or take. So you have that to kind of deal with. One of the trophies is you have to launch this missile that's going to, or some weapon, to destroy this asteroid or whatever's heading to Earth, and it has to destroy it. But I don't know what the guaranteed method is to doing that, because when I did it, and I felt like I was taking care of everything pretty quick, it said you only destroyed 62%, so it's still going to, crash on Earth. And I'm like, well, how the hell do I know what to do to make this any better? Because I don't know what else more I can do other than just beat the bosses, get the stuff as quick as I can, and then launch it.
You have to beat them in a certain order?
As far as I know, there is obviously an order in Mega Man where you get a weapon and so on and so forth. So I kind of did that pattern, but beyond that, I don't know what else to do. So it's a ridiculous trophy.
Google that shit.
I did, and they said the same thing. Luck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They said there's really no way to tell. They said there's part of an algorithm you can kind of sort of understand, but then you got to do this and you got to do that, and then maybe it'll work. Oh. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. And this guy even said, save it here, beat this level, and if it works, you'll see and you'll get the trophy. If not, just reload that and try again. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to just keep playing the same thing just for the off chance that I'll get it.
Did you save it there?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Because I didn't feel like dealing with it. I was just like, hell with it. If it's going to be like that, screw it. But yeah, I played that. Speaking of Mega Man, also, we talked before the break about Mega Man Fully Charged, the series. Have you got a chance to check it out yet?
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on Cartoon Network.
No, I haven't seen it.
Well, I put a few on DVR, checked it out. There are things about it I love, and then things about it I'm not keen on. And I think the things that I'm not keen about are the elements of it that are, I guess, aimed toward the kid audience of today.
Right.
The humor, certain elements to it where they're trying to aim for those children, and it's not my kind of kid show. You know what I mean? Something that I just can't wrap my head around, because there are some shows like, I don't know if you've ever watched Voltron on Netflix. It's obviously aimed toward kids because it's got the Y7 rating, but I love it.
Right.
The stories do not downplay to children. They're very deep stories. They actually covered a topic which I don't want to spoil for anybody, because there might be people watching who haven't caught up yet.
I haven't.
But there was an element to it that they kind of laid out there, and I was like, that's pretty ballsy for a kid show.
Right. And
just a lot of these leaps that they're doing where they take their audience seriously and understand that everybody is going to follow what's going on. They have those bits of humor that are for the kids, but then the story, the stakes are all the way up here where an adult like myself can watch it and be like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Because they always throw a curveball somewhere, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Because you expect everything to be happy and perfect ending by the end of it, and they don't. They keep throwing these curveballs, and it's amazing. But this show, it just, I don't know, some of the humor and little things in it I just don't like.
Well, is it comparable to like Teen Titans Go?
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of in that. Now, they don't have that same kind of anime, humor where everything's kind of jumping here and there, but that there's a lot of puns, man. Just a lot of those puns where it's just like, just stop. But what was funny is, I think there was an episode, one of the last ones I watched, where they featured Iceman from Mega Man 1. And, of course, every ice pun you can throw out there, they did. But even at the end of the episode, Mega Man's sister looked at him and says, all right, that's enough. Like they acknowledged, okay, we've milked the ice puns. So I can kind of appreciate that. If you're a big fan of the series, Mega Man in general, they pay homage to music. You hear it in the main titles. You hear it in anytime a boss shows up, you'll hear their level music in the background sometimes, and they'll even do these little 8-bit things when they're telling their backstory, where you hear that music in the background and stuff like that. So little, homages like that are nice,
right?
And I appreciate that, but it's like unless one of my kids is out there watching it too, I can't just justify watching it alone.
Okay, right now, out of 5, what do you give it?
I'd say I'm going to give a middle ground, maybe a 3.
Right,
because there are things about it I can appreciate that they won't understand, and there are probably things that they will love about it that I don't understand.
Right.
So it's a great middle ground show. If you've got kids and you love Mega Man, share it with them. They could probably enjoy aspects of it that you don't, and then vice versa.
Right. Okay. And is it called Mega Man, or is
Mega
it
Man Fully Charged?
Fully Charged. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
And see, he's even got like a little buddy in his head, which that's annoying.
A buddy?
Well, it's supposed to, like, he's the robot who controls the robot, and so every time he's absorbing a power, he can repair Mega Man and stuff. I don't know. It's an unnecessary addition.
Right.
I feel like.
So he's kind of like his brain? Not even that? He's pulling
just like a repair robot inside of Mega Man. So there was a time where he was trying to shoot, I think it was the ice beam, and it froze up. So he's like, I can't shoot it. Can you do something? He's like, hang on, I'll take care of it. And so he's trying to thaw out the ice in the buster, and then it's like, oh yeah, now you go. And he's just again, kids today would probably love it. I don't.
Right.
And what's funny is I actually went back and revisited. Like I found. Do you remember the '90s series that came on? It was just Mega Man.
No, but I feel like was Mega Man in what with the Captain N stuff?
Well, he was. And he was. This is like after that.
Okay, no,
so
I don't remember. I don't remember the '90s.
Yeah, this is he looked more like Mega Man. They used all the Robot Masters from the original NES series.
Did he have the dog? Was it
yeah,
Rush?
He had Rush with him.
Okay, I kind of do remember that then.
Yeah, and
kind of vaguely.
The animation, it was better than some, but it still kind of had that '90s standard where it was a little choppy here and there.
Right.
I think it was a Ruby Sears cartoon from the '90s. Anyway, I actually went back and revisited it, and there were it's just I don't feel like anyone's quite nailed it yet because there were a lot of things there I could really appreciate, but they don't utilize the music. They don't utilize certain elements of it where they'll add in. It was one of those shows where they like Rush has to be a talking dog that's always doing something goofy at the end. It's like, oh, Rush, ha ha, and they all laugh at the end, ha ha ha.
I do remember that part.
And then he's like, that kind of stupid crap,
It was a robot Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the jokes, and again, full of puns. It was like, ha, what are you cutting around, cut man? It's like, stop, just stop. So stop. I watched it going, I want to appreciate this, but it's equally as bad, if not sometimes worse, because even Wily could be that, I'm going to stop you, Mega Man. And he'll say something stupid. And they also did that one trope where they had to remind you constantly that Proto Man and Mega Man were brothers, and that him and Roll were brother and sister. Oh, stop, sis. You're not going anywhere. All right, big bro. You can't tell me what to do. Oh, sis. I got it. The first time I saw you in the first episode. You do not have to remind me that you're brother and sister. Proto Man and Mega Man do not have to remind me you're brothers. I got it. He's my brother. I'm going to stop him.
What did Wily sound like again?
He had that, oh, God, Mega Man, you were going to stop you. Something like that.
Is it Jean-Claude Van Damme doing his voice?
I don't remember. I don't know. Let's get into some news.
Let's do it.
Since we've been prattling on for quite a while about Mega Man and stuff like that.
15 minutes.
Anyway.
A lot of news today?
Well, there's a little bit of news. The first story we've got is going to cover a little bit of ground, and it kind of needs to be talked about. And that was the big news that happened in the gaming world on Sunday, on August 26th. If you may have heard, where there's shooting at the Madden NFL gaming tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. This incident left 2 players dead and at least 10 more injured, although this number is kind of conflicting from what I've seen.
4.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I heard was 4 all day.
There's a lot of varied numbers that I keep getting, so if I get them wrong and something else confirms it later, I'm sorry. I'm just reporting as I heard it. We also know that the person responsible turned the gun on himself, which does not surprise me because most cowards are like that. Now, the 2 victims killed in this pointless tragedy were 22-year-old Elijah Clayton of Woodland Hills, California, and 28-year-old Taylor Robinson of Giles, West Virginia. Both were competitive Madden players, and both were well-respected members of that gaming community. They, along with the other victims in the story, were just gamers having fun, enjoying themselves in a situation where something like this is the furthest thing from their minds. But I'm sure from now on, even the gaming community must concern themselves with these situations. Numerous outlets responded in support of the victims and their families. We had organizers from PAX West issue a statement about their security measures for their show, which when we went to PAX East, I felt like they had their security on point.
Yeah, you had to go through a metal detector. Then
yeah,
that was that first day, man. It was the bag search. I hated I had a bag, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I think they're fine. EA shared a statement from CEO Andrew Wilson expressing condolences and announcing the cancellation of the remaining Madden events. EA also donated $1 million for support of the victims and their families. Now, despite this goodwill, one gamer who was at the event has actually filed a lawsuit against EA and the venue where the competition was taking place. He claims in a statement that he trusted the event hosts and organizers to allow him a safe space to do what he loved, and their negligence to provide adequate security shattered that trust the moment shots rang out. Numerous other gamers have spoken about a lack of security since this shooting, so this doesn't seem to be something that only one person is focused on from what I'm gathering. Now, as far as we know, investigators are still looking into a motive, but in a situation like this, I feel it's simply a no-brainer.
Yeah.
This was some kid who lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
He felt slighted for whatever reason, and he went in there as just he's a sore loser is the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Because even if you look back into social media, his background, stuff like that, he was actually a competitor for this. Mm-hmm. He actually won one of the championships a few years back, called himself the best, and so on. So this is a sore loser, plain and simple. Somebody who did not do as well as he was hoping, and he lost. Yeah, and he just couldn't swallow his pride and just let it go. And for the record, I'm going to rant here, so just be a little forewarned. Where does this conversation go from here, in my opinion, okay? Because I've seen reports that this piece of shit was, hospitalized for mental illness, and for me, that doesn't make it inexcusable, or excusable, should I say. In my mind, it makes it inexcusable because it shows the lack of concern for the country's support of mental illness. Nothing was done.
Nothing.
They knew there was a problem. He was in the hospital for it, but yet he was out.
And plus he got a gun.
Yeah, and he got a gun.
Well, I guess you can get a gun anywhere.
But still, if he was hospitalized for it, that should have been a red flag for any gun seller, shop or whatever. They should be like,
well, they don't know that.
But they should.
Right.
They should.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We could have the gun debate all day about this too, but I don't really feel like that's going to help matters right now. I don't even really feel like it is a point, but I don't, for whatever reason, for me, it's not the main point here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but it's been the farthest thing from my mind in this entire situation. But some actually tried, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is ridiculous. Some actually tried to pull the violence in video games argument out.
I knew that was coming.
And I was just like, how in the hell are you going to have that argument right now? This is Madden.
They're playing Madden.
There is absolutely no violence whatsoever outside of running into somebody and tackling them.
Yeah.
I'm speechless on it because you cannot make that argument with Madden. You know, if you actually point to this game and say it's a problem, then you need to start looking at the NFL. And then that just opens up a whole other can of worms.
Right.
Because your argument's invalid at that point. If you're going to start looking here, you got to look out there too.
Right.
Because you're still, whether you're playing it or not, it's still there. It's still the same.
Yep.
So anyone who uses that argument, they can fuck right off as far as I'm concerned. Okay?
Boom, you dropped an F-bomb.
I did,
right
because
on.
I got angry when I was writing this, the whole thing. But
Your forehead's a little red.
anyway, I know that for me, video games have always been kind of a sanctuary, and I feel like many others feel the same way. And something like this feels like we're being robbed of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to think that if we were at PAX playing video games, that should have been something on my mind. It was the furthest thing from my mind, having to worry about someone there pulling a gun and shooting the place up.
I don't know, I thought about it the whole time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did.
But it never crossed my mind, because I felt like this is a place where we are with people who are like us.
Yeah.
Playing video games, enjoying the community, the camaraderie of video games. And now I don't know how I feel about another venue like this, because you don't know.
No, you
No
don't.
one ever, expected it here, and they've been proven wrong. Like every other thing in this world, where we don't expect it to happen, and it does.
Right.
You know, the last place you expect it to happen is in a school, and
Well, what gets me is the administration now, not to get political, in the first 41 days pulled out what would have put into place in the background checks mental illness issues. Mm-hmm. And they pulled it right out.
Yeah.
But then after Parkland, he comes out and he says, this is a mental illness issue. Well, that's funny, because you just pulled it right out of
exactly.
there.
So if that would have been in there, would this have prevented that?
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's a start.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all you're looking for. Because I love guns. You know, I love my guns. But I don't think that everybody should have a gun.
Exactly. And I feel like in this scenario, had that it been in place, at least that was one thing that we wouldn't have to concern ourselves with. We're just like, okay, it was in place. He found another way to get it. Fine. But at least that check was taken care of.
Right.
So I don't know. It's. I hate to start the show. I know we kind of prattled on.
It's okay. We talked about Mega Man first.
We did. We talked a lot of good. We're going to lift it back up, but I just felt like this was worth talking about, and our thoughts and well wishes are with the victims and their families. So let's move on to some quick hits. How about that?
Quick hits.
All right. Got a few. Don't have a lot, but there was a video featuring nearly an hour's worth of gameplay from Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful. I'm so excited after watching that.
Mm-hmm. I heard a lot that really amped a lot of people up. If you had doubts, it kind of put them to bed.
What gets me is everybody is the one thing they hung on early was like, oh, it's not first. It's not third person. It's only first.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want a first person shooter if you're going to do this, because I feel like the controls can be a lot smoother. Let's be honest. The Witcher's controls were horrible. Not the control scheme or nothing, but like every now and again, man, it would just get fucking janky. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't get on a horse sometimes. You know?
Yeah. I won't say they're perfect, but they weren't too bad.
But that game was great. Mm-hmm. Now you take this game, if you're really focusing on like role playing and shooting and stuff like that, you're gonna have to go first person.
You're right.
I really feel that way. But it looked awesome. I
don't dislike first person shooters. It's just it's a turnoff for me immediately. Right. I won't say immediately, but it's just I prefer the third person.
Yeah.
But if there's a reason the controls are good and everything like that, and it just kind of works, then I'm like, all right, I can accept it. Like Far Cry, it doesn't bother me.
Right.
So I'm accepting of that. But some games, I guess when they do it wrong, it's really bad.
You're right, exactly. That's why Call of Duty has never bothered me. They've handled it really good. Mm-hmm. Destiny did a really good job.
Right.
I hope that these guys do the same, because that game, it looks beautiful. I hope it feels as good as it looks.
Right. There was also Microsoft executives in a statement said that hardcore gamers are on their side.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
I don't know.
I just found that to be an interesting headline. I was like, what is that? What are you saying?
I don't know. They like to say shit like
hardcore gamers are on their side.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Who's on Sony's side?
The casual gamers.
That's it.
No, they're on Nintendo's side.
Yeah.
So I guess
Sony
has everybody.
The middle ground hardcore guys. The not so hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost there.
Because God of War is not a hardcore game by any means.
No.
Devs for Kingdom Hearts 3 said that the world bosses are going to be kept under wraps until launch. What do you make of that?
I like that idea.
I'm kind of curious.
I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, excited as I am for Spider-Man, I almost seen too much of Spider-Man.
I feel like I have, but at the same time, I'm starting to feel like I've seen the same scenes over and over. Like they're starting to recycle them. I'm like, good.
Yeah, and I felt like that the whole time, but I don't want to see it.
I know. I mean, I had to stop. I had to stop. I've been stopping myself from watching videos because I want to look at more.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so close. Just give me. I'll be there.
I stopped watching them after E3 because when they showed the Sinister Six, pretty much, I'm like, I didn't want to know that.
Yeah. But you still don't even know who the sixth member is.
Right.
So
you're
like
right.
that.
You're right about that, but I still didn't want to. I didn't want to.
No,
know.
yeah, I understand.
I did watch one the other day, and Mary Jane was on the radio, like helping him out. Did you watch that?
I've seen gameplay of her actually.
Yeah.
Being able to play as her, so I like that.
I do too.
And they even kind of, it was like a production video where they were talking about Miles and how he kind of works into it, because they were talking about the narrative in general, how they didn't want to tell the same story.
Right.
You know, they said when they were presented with it, it was like, I don't want to tell his origin again. I don't want to tell this story again. I want to do something new. I want to do something different. Mm-hmm. So they started taking all these elements, and then even when it came to Miles, it was like, we're introducing him in a way that he's not been seen in the comics because he's just a fan. He's a fanboy of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they even kind of glibly hinted at the end of it, was like, where he goes from here, just wait and see.
I love the commercial for it because, like, you get a brief glimpse of him. I mean, it's like so fast. You get whoa, there's Miles right there.
Yeah. I actually got this piece of news right before I left and got over here, so I was excited to announce this. No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again, January 18th. This came straight out of PAX.
PS4?
No.
Oh.
I'm just assuming the Switch. They haven't said anything prior.
I was excited. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try and play it now."
I didn't catch that part. If you want to look and see if
I doubt it's on PS4 yet.
But
it
January
will
18th.
Be,
does that mean that I'm going to buy a Switch sometime after that? I don't know yet.
You're going to get one for Christmas. Shut up.
Well, take a look at it like this: if I hear the game is good, then within a month of its release, if they say if you're a fan of the series, you got to play this or whatever. I'd say within a month of its release, I'll have a Switch.
I'm going to tell you this right now. You're full of shit.
Okay.
Because February 22nd, everything in its mama comes out.
That's true.
What are you going to do with Travis and No More Heroes?
But we don't know what's coming out yet. Do we?
Yeah.
What is?
Days Gone, Anthem.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
What? God, there's like 4 other ones too. Rage 2. Isn't Rage 2 in there?
See, I'm shrugging right now. You're not selling me anything.
You're not gonna buy Days Gone?
I mean, I do want to play it. I do want to play it. I'm just saying that as of right now, it's just not a must buy. It could look so good and then be so buggy, cruddy.
It's not.
We don't know.
You shut your mouth.
All right. Bethesda confirmed on Twitter that Fallout 76 will never be offline, but did try to assuage fears by ensuring that this is not the new normal for them, but just an offshoot. Mm-hmm. So Fallout 5 will come out at some point. It's just they're trying something.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So for me, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. There was a trailer for Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw the announcement. I have not watched the trailer.
I haven't either. I don't really have any attachment to the series. So
I liked it back in the day.
That's all I'm going to say. A remake of Toe Jam and Earl called Back in the Groove will get a physical release for the PS4 and the Switch.
Nice.
How about that?
Toe Jam and Earl. That's me and Kale. That's what we called each other.
Devs for Yakuza have made it known that there will be a surprise at the Tokyo Game Show.
Ooh,
what do you think
Yakuza game?
Probably.
That's not much of a surprise.
Yakuza 1/2. Is that a thing? I don't know.
7.3. I don't know. They do some weird numbers on that.
They do. The new killer for Dead by Daylight dropped, and she's known as the Spirit.
What do you think about her?
I mean, it looks kind of creepy, and I can kind of see where people got this possible chance that it was the Grudge killer or whatever, because it kind of has that feel to it, that look. That would still be such a great idea.
Oh my God, it gets closer until you hear it. I would shit right on the couch.
Because the Halloween, when you've got Michael Myers chasing you, the music just intensifies like
and
that.
And then that son of a bitch is so fast.
Yeah.
He's on you. Ah, shit.
So I like that. But, I mean, she looks pretty cool. But I haven't got to play her yet. She looks cool. So that's all I can say about that. And finally, the file size and gameplay time have been revealed for Spider-Man, with the download looking to be around 45 gigabytes, and the playtime around 20 hours, but that's focused solely on story missions alone. No side missions.
20 hours
is
a good thing for story missions.
I think someone said it's comparable to something like Tomb Raider.
God of War.
If you're just doing story.
Right.
That's it.
That's around how long God of War was if you were just doing story.
Mm-hmm. Now, while we're on the subject of Spider-Man, since I want to just talk about it all,
I'm hoping this is what we need to talk about right now.
Details for the game's upcoming DLC were released. Now, if there's something I don't mention, you can buy.
I'm going to wait.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my load to the end. Then I'm just going to blow my bounty on you if you don't say anything.
All right, good. The DLC will be known as The City That Never Sleeps, and the first of 3 chapters will release on October 23rd. Now, the heist will feature a story surrounding longtime Spider-Man foe and sometimes ally love interest Black Cat. From what we've heard, you actually hear about her in the main game as you play, but you never actually see her until this DLC, which I think is kind of cool.
I love that.
The new mission will also feature a new enemy faction and 3 new suits, although, from what I've seen, there have been no details as to what these suits will be. So I'm a little excited about that because I want to know, and I'm so glad this hasn't been spoiled because they've been giving out suits and kind of giving you tastes. I want to know what suits are in the game.
Right.
Every single one of them. Not DLC. I'm just talking about the main ones in the game, because once you line those out, then you can start wondering and speculating what the DLC suits are going to be because they're not there in the game.
Right.
So, I don't know. And I don't know why suits are such a big deal.
Well, it depends on what they do.
Yeah, and I think that's the other awesome thing is they're actually going to provide you something. Like I even thought, and they may have already thought about this, I think it would be a great idea. One of his most awkward suits that he ever had was an armor suit.
Right.
So, in my opinion, I thought if you did an armor suit, slow him down, but make him more durable. Mm-hmm. So, double defense, but you're half as fast. So you're sluggish and slow, but you can take damage. Something like that would be great.
So it's not like the Iron Spider?
Yeah, but not quite like the Iron Spider. This was just like, it was silver head to toe.
Right.
So it was like this just big, bulky armor. Mm-hmm. So I thought something like that would be kind of cool, but you add these little elements to kind of slow him up a little bit, but you, again, have the added benefit of the armor. So I don't know. It's their game. They can do whatever they want. I'm in one way or the other.
Right.
Anyway, the next 2 chapters they will be known as Turf Wars and Silver Lining, which you can probably guess what the third one is going to kind of focus on. Silver Sable. I'd almost bet.
Silver Sable?
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure she's in the game. They have no set release dates as of yet, but should follow in the subsequent months, giving you plenty of Spider-Man until the year's end.
I'm excited.
Friday is so far away.
Thursday, I'm getting it.
You know what? You stop with all that.
I'm getting it Thursday night, 9 o'clock.
Bull.
That's why I like GameStop. Go get it from GameStop.
I don't live next to a GameStop like you.
You do. You get off work at Thursday. Oh, no. You have to come back at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'd have to come back.
Come back.
I don't want to come back.
Is it not worth it?
The convenience. It's going to be uploaded on my system that night.
At midnight.
So it'll be waiting.
And then you have to be back from work.
I just have to get that hook.
You're going to come over here for the podcast. And I've already played probably about 10 hours. I'm halfway through the game by the time you get here.
Truth or trash time.
Was that... Wait. There was one more Spider-Man thing you didn't talk about.
Go ahead and tell me.
I just want to know if you've seen where Insomniac puts, I guess, pictures maybe out of it, and people start saying there's a downgrade.
you've clearly underestimated my news skills here.
Well, we were going to Truth and Trash. I thought
That's
we were
right.
Going,
It's not time for that yet.
Oh, this is into Truth or Trash. I should have thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I never said anything.
Yeah, you did. I'm leaving that shit in. Truth or Trash. So, got only 2 items.
Okay. I know what one of them is.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 will soon get Clone Wars content.
Yeah, that's truth. I've heard that already.
Okay.
I've heard rumbles of it.
Well, this is rumors. So, truth.
I think it's going to be truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next one is PlayStation 5 is codenamed Erebus.
Trash. That is the code name for Fortnite in Unreal Engine 4.
Okay.
One of the developers come out last night and said
well, look at you.
Yeah.
Good job. Weird news?
Weird news.
What do you think we're going to talk about?
Well, I was wrong about one of them being Truth or Trash, being the Spider-Man things. I'm guessing the weird news is going to be there's some Spider-Man in there somewhere, and is there any sex?
No, but there is some more Spider-Man because we're going to be talking about Puddlegate.
Yeah, this is the thing I was thinking about.
Now, to what we even talk about under weird news seems wrong, but the internet knows how to ruin everything.
They do.
So what they've ruined now, for some anyway, is the hype around Spider-Man because they're making heavy accusations that the game has been graphically downgraded. All because of a puddle of water. Now, a video was posted online showcasing certain changes within the game that were noticed, and this is compared to the initial announcement video from E3. Some players happened to notice that in one scene there was a puddle of water that was no longer present in the game. Now there were boxes and crates and whatnot. So obviously they've downgraded the game because that's where the speculation went. It was like, oh, you guys have been compressing and downgrading because the puddle's gone, but then they've got the boxes. That's what you do. So the community manager of the game addressed and acknowledged the concern, explaining that 1, the puddle had been moved, and 2, shadows move when you change lighting, and video compression can sometimes happen. But there's really not too much of an instance here.
Right.
The puddle just moved.
I think what happened was a delivery came in and they had to put the boxes somewhere.
Yeah, they had to. They had to put them somewhere.
Where are you going to just put them on the ground? You going to put them on top of the roof?
Now, Insomniac even chimed in with a rather funny response to a tweet that read, here's what the tweet read, probably to scale back resources used in the puddle's reflection to keep the frames from dropping. Insomniac's response, no, we have plenty of puddles in tons of other places. So despite this, some gamers are so furious about a lack of puddles and the truth behind it, the investigation into Puddlegate will continue until all these unsatisfied, puddleless gamers have the truth.
Well, at the same time when they bring that up, do you think that the game might have like a little bit of dynamic weather?
It
could. I mean, that means that's even better. Right now it's dry. It could be puddles on it whenever.
I'm pretty sure I've heard something about rain and whatnot.
Right.
So
people just jump the gun and they have nothing better to do.
Well, what was actually really funny, I'll tell you this. I'm so glad I caught this before I got here. Right before I got here, I saw a troll response to these haters. This is on Reddit, right?
Right.
He took a picture of the scene that everyone was complaining about that had no water, no puddle or whatever, and he had a caption under it that said, Day 1 patch leaked, and the entire floor was covered in water. Like it was flooded, and I was like,
yeah,
that was solid, dude.
Yeah,
Good job. That. All right, now we're going to jump into some release dates.
There a lot?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, because we also have some of the free games coming out as well, so there's a lot to...
You going to talk about the PS Plus stuff?
That's right.
Yeah.
So on September 4th, we have Ninja Clash of Carrots for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC.
Clash of Carrots?
Clash of Carrots.
I didn't like carrots. Do you like carrots?
Yeah, I do. Genesis Alpha 1 for PS4 and Xbox One. 428
Just stop.
Shibuya.
Just stop right there.
I did. Shibuya Scramble.
Shibuya. I'm just going to start saying it.
That's what it looks like. Good. PS4 and PC. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age for PS4 and PC. Zone of the Enders, the Second Runner Mars. It's a weird name. PS4, PSVR, and PC. Planet Alpha for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC. Super Street, the game. PS4, Xbox One, PC. Shadows Awakening, PS4, Xbox One. God Wars, The Complete Legend for Nintendo Switch. Then God Wars Labyrinth of Yomi for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and the PS Vita. Destiny 2 Forsaken, you've got a standard and legendary collection for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Claws of Fury for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Dimension Drive for Xbox One. Moonfall Ultimate for Nintendo Switch and PC. And Son of a Witch for Nintendo Switch. Son of a Witch. On September 6th, we have Ella Episode 1 for Xbox One. Gone Home for Nintendo Switch.
That's a good game for the Switch.
Yeah. Kentucky Robo Chicken. Okay. For Nintendo Switch. Lifeless Planet Premier Edition for Nintendo Switch. And Broforce for Nintendo Switch. I love Broforce.
Yeah, I like Broforce.
September 7th. What do you think's coming out on September 7th?
God of War downloadable content.
No, Marvel Spider-Man for PS4.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were. Wow, you're like a fish. Immortal Unchained for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. SNK Heroines or Tag Team Frenzy. That's the little thing for PS4 and Nintendo
heroin?
Switch. Heroines, like female heroes.
Oh, that's a heroine.
Arcade Islands Volume 1 for PS4 and Xbox One. NBA 2K19 for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. NBA Live 19 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Why are there two NBA games coming out at the same
Well,
day?
NBA Live is EA's version. Mm-hmm. NBA 2K is, of course, 2K's version, which is, to me, 2K's way better.
Yeah. NASCAR Heat 3 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Mummy Pinball for Nintendo Switch. Dead Age for Xbox One. Siggy Fart for Mussolina for Nintendo Switch. I'm not even joking.
No way.
If this is on PC, it would have been in the other category. Yokai... Damn these names. Yokai Watch Blasters, Red Cat Core, and White Dog Squad. Those are two different games for the 3DS. Now, we have the Xbox games with gold for September. We have Prison Architect for Xbox One from September 1st through the 30th.
Have you ever played any of those?
I don't think I have, but I think I've seen them played. They kind of have like a...
good?
Huh?
They look good.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of seem like it'd be
I've seen like little bits and pieces, and I just didn't know what to think. I know they had like a Walking Dead version of one.
Kind of looked all right.
No, I'm thinking of Escape.
Yeah.
Prison Architect, you actually build the prison.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess. Yeah. I'm going to assume you're right. We also have Live Lock for Xbox One, and that's going to be available from the 16th of September to October 15th. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars for Xbox 360 from September 1st through the 15th. Then Sega Vintage Collection Monster World for Xbox 360 from September 16th through the 30th. Boy, these are just, mouthfuls. PS Plus games for September, and correct me if I'm wrong on one, okay?
Okay.
For PS4, we have Destiny 2 and God of War 3. Was God of War 3 not already on this list? I feel confident that I did not pay money for it.
No, I think you borrowed mine.
No, I mean, I have it on my PS4 right now. And I was almost positive I got it because of this.
I don't know. So you might have got it when they had it on sale. They had it on sale for like $1 or something one time.
It might have been really, really cheap. But yeah. I just feel
Go
like...
look and see, is it in purchased or is it in your PlayStation Plus?
I don't know. I have to look.
Because if it was in PlayStation Plus, I would have it and have traded the other one in.
Look it up. I'm gonna look it up too. And it's just it bugs me, because I feel like it's been. I feel like it has been, but maybe I'm absolutely wrong. I don't know. But Destiny 2, God of War 3, PS4, free for the month of September.
Destiny 2 is a good one because I will play it for free.
Well, I've never played them, so that might be my opportunity. We have. I'm going to assume this is Cube, Kube, Cube Director's Cut for PS4 and PlayStation 3. Also, Another World, the 20th anniversary edition for PS4, PS3, and PlayStation Vita. If you have never played Another World,
play it.
Play it. You will thank me later. There's also Foul Play and Sparkle 2, though that will be available on PS4 and PS Vita. Then there are 2 bonus games. If you've not had the chance and opportunity to play these, Knowledge is Power. It's a PlayLink game. It will be a free bonus for the month of September. I highly recommend that if you love trivia games. It's very fun. And then Here They Lie, which is a PSVR game, will be free. I don't really know if that's any good or not. I actually looked up some reviews, and they were not very kind.
What game was it?
Here They Lie.
Is that the VR game?
Yeah.
Horror game?
So I can't recommend that one, but I can recommend Knowledge is Power and Another World. Please go out and try those games. Free. You can't beat free. Then Twitch Prime games for September are The Adventure Pals, Guild of Dungeoneering, Gunpoint, Strife Veteran Edition, and Pumped BMX Plus. How about those? You want a Twitch Prime game?
No, I'm going to pass on that.
Okay.
No, I did find something about PS Plus freebies, God of War 3 Remastered free on HK PSN. What does this mean? Oh, God, don't
Again, no one repeated it. I mean, I even saw IGN when they did their... They didn't say, this is this has been recycled, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaking it for something else. It's just, in my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure. But, I don't know. It doesn't matter. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, what is it? It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
You get it free again if you don't have it. Get it now.
Well, I don't need another game right now.
No, I don't really either.
All right. Anyway, now it's time for...
What the hell did you just say?
What did you just say?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
You ready for these games? I got a handful. This is slim pickings this week, but
That's okay.
I got a few.
By myself this week.
That's right. It was good tag team work you guys did. That was good. The first one, Fly Wars.
With the zzz at the end?
Fly Wars.
It is zombie flies. They're zombies. Mm-hmm. They're dead flies.
Okay.
But they're reanimated. And it's like it's 2D, and you're fighting each other on windowsills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monster Pub.
Monster Pub. It's kind of like Overcooked. Mm-hmm. You got to run a pub that caters to monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Top down.
Fair enough. Cat Catch.
Cap Catch.
Cat.
Cat Catch.
Cat Catch.
Well, I would just say you got to capture cats.
So you're a cat.
You're a cat catcher, cat napper. I don't know. Yeah, like you work for the city.
Okay.
You gotta fill your truck up.
The Ultimate Clicker Master of the Universe.
Ultimate Clicker Master of the Universe.
All together.
Ultimate Clicker.
Clicker Master.
Clicker Master.
Yeah, I would assume that's what it means.
Do you remember that game? Was it mayonnaise? What?
I Am Bread or
no? There was I Am Bread.
Mayo?
And there was like I Am Mayo. It's exactly like that, but it's a remote control.
And you just gotta...
You're just clicking it. It's 99 cents.
Puzzles for Smart Dogs.
Puzzle for Smart Dogs.
Not Smart Dogs.
Okay.
Not Smart Dogs. Puzzles for Smart, dogs.
Okay. They are brain teasers that involve dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's on your cell phone.
One Jump Bomb.
One Jump Bomb. Shit, I don't know. You get one chance to jump something or you blow up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
Take That.
It's a board game played on your PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those are PC games.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It's on your PC. It's a board game.
Mm-hmm.
It's online. And you try to make everybody take that.
Okay.
Because you don't want that.
You don't want it, so you got to make them
You
take
got
it.
to make them take it.
Gotcha.
Got it, yeah.
Save president from rebels.
Oh, if Trump's in it, I'm just going to lose. That's just self-explanatory. It's a third-person shooter, 8-bit style, and you have to save the president from the rebels.
Mushroom Rain.
Oh, my God. Mushroom Rain. This is like Cloudberry Kingdom.
Okay.
It's just a very insane side-scrolling platformer, like with some gnarly shit. Like, it's just crazy. Do you remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that.
Okay.
With mushrooms.
Duck Souls.
Duck Souls.
Mm-hmm.
It is a rehashed version of Dark Souls, only with ducks.
What would Google say?
I don't know. I guess you have to guess what, like, fill in the blank, like, of searches.
Okay.
And it's like just a puzzle game like that.
Virtual reality.
So this is virtual reality inside virtual reality. It's based on Inception.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
good.
what it is. You got to find the secret to it.
And finally, Don't Touch Me.
This is a dating simulator to where the point where you don't want to hear her say, "Don't touch me," because that's the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
But you have to touch her in certain spots, but you can't go too far because then she will say,
Don't touch
me.
Gotcha. So
Game over.
Really a exercise in sexual harassment. And,
Kind of, maybe you're playing chicken.
okay.
Yeah. She could be touching you too. You might say, "Don't touch me."
No, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Maybe it's to see who gets the farthest and then the first
Before it
person
gets
says, "Don't
awkward.
touch me." Yeah.
Okay. I have a feeling the guy's never going to say "Don't touch me."
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Because
Please jerk
guys
me.
are
Please
assholes.
touch me.
All right. Well, it's time for the review section.
This is
my
what, wait,
review.
no. I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay. Now, the game that I've been playing that we have been hiding for some stupid reason because, everybody should know about it.
We talked about it last week.
It's been some time since I've been actually this excited about a new IP. Having an opportunity to play the demo of Donut County at PAX East really ramped up the anticipation.
Do you have the music playing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Playing
I like
right
the
now.
music.
Yeah, the music's good. Even before that, this game had my attention. I think there was a trailer.
At E3.
No, I think it was before that. There was just some random trailer. Probably a game show that came out about this time.
Maybe GDC.
Could have been. But it was before PAX.
No, yeah, I thought it was before. I thought it was E3 last year, like one of the first ones they showed. For some reason, I remember sitting in the theater.
I'm almost positive it was after.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, it just something about the idea was intriguing. Just seeing this hole taking trash, it was just like, what the hell is this? But you have my attention. So, despite the simplicity, I was intrigued. Now, this game, Donut County, was published by Annapurna Games and created by indie dev Ben Esposito, whose works actually include The Unfinished Swan and What Remains of Edith Finch, which I still need to play. I did play The Unfinished Swan, which is
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting game. Donut County is fun and charming, albeit a little bit shorter than I anticipated. Nonetheless, I did have fun with it. The gameplay was quite simple, and if I were to explain it to a casual player with the exact purpose of what the game was, you kind of might think it's ridiculous.
Right.
Because you have a hole, you move the hole around, and you make things drop into the hole.
And the hole gets bigger.
The hole gets bigger. You get bigger things into the hole as it gets bigger until there's just no more stuff. That's basically it. However, it can be a tad more complicated than that. Some of the areas actually present puzzles that you have to solve to progress further. I can't say that they are actually brain busters, but they'll kind of make you think for a moment or two, where you're like, what am I missing here? And then, oh, okay, I got it. Now, even though the gameplay is quite simplistic, the casual nature of it is relaxing and kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
As you're doing that.
I felt that way. It was satisfying dropping shit in the hole.
Yeah,
This is fun.
just for whatever reason, it's just oddly satisfying. Now, within a game, you may be wondering what the purpose of what you're doing is. What is the story behind it? Luckily, the game has an interesting tale filled with cheeky humor that you would expect with the world you were presented with. the basic premise of the game is told in flashbacks, which is seen after the entire town is trapped almost, 1,000 feet underground?
999 feet below ground.
Yeah, very precise about that. A raccoon by the name of BK is clearly responsible for the town's misfortune, yet he actually refuses to take responsibility for it. He's more concerned about his aerial drone.
Yeah, his quadricopter.
Yeah, quadricopter, that's
Why
it.
he got smashed?
His best friend Mira actually calls him out in front of everybody as they try to unravel the truth of this matter. Now, as I'd mentioned before, the dialogue and humor here are the standouts. But I would actually have to say that the Trashopedia actually has some of the most humorous bits in the game.
So I haven't went and looked in that yet.
If you go in there, every item has a definition, like what it is. And sometimes it's just some of the craziest, most nonsensical things you've ever seen.
So like it's the raccoon coming up with the...
I'm assuming so, yes. Yeah. Or at least they are responsible for the definitions of everything. It's just, I wish I could remember a good one, Rock, because there were so many that I read, I was like, that's, for whatever reason, it's just like, that's pretty fun.
I never went in there. I need to go check the Trashopedia.
Yeah, definitely check out the Trashopedia. Don't let that one get by you. In a world in which you can play, or that you get to play in, is incredibly colorful and vibrant, and even the darkest areas of the game stand out, like the cave. The accompanying music by Daniel Kostner, which I hope I'm saying his name right, and Ben Esposito is very laid back. It's relaxed. It feels very appropriate for this game. You can hear it right now. It's a lovely tune. I don't know which one I'm exactly playing right now, but it's good.
All of it.
I like it. The character designs, for me, actually felt very reminiscent of Animal Crossing, but I wouldn't say that they are so similar that you could confuse the two games. You know what I mean? There was just some familiarity to it.
It was simple.
Yeah. Now, I've actually heard on more than one occasion that the game is very similar to that of Katamari Damacy, but I can't speak to the validity of that because I've never played that game. But
I think it's got that satisfying, like, rolling over things with a ball and building the ball bigger. It's like,
right. I kind of heard
thing.
Almost like this game is like that, but in reverse.
Right,
Instead
exactly,
of creating something big, you're dropping everything into a hole. So, if you like that game, you'll probably find this one to be right up your alley if you kind of dig that kind of stuff. But as previously mentioned, this is a very short game. Clocks in somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, depending on your play speed and trophy collecting. However, the price is spot on for such a title, so it's an easy recommendation to make. I do wish there was more to it, as my time with it ended before I actually felt satisfied with it.
Right.
I want to go back and play in this world more. I would love to see more levels. I would pay for more levels. I would even pay for a larger sequel title.
Right.
You know, something that's just got more girth to it. I want to go back to Donut County and stay a while longer instead of dropping in for a quick visit. But I recommend it. You know, don't expect to just be blown out of the water for it, but you'll find for what you're getting, it's just an oddly satisfying, casual title just to sit down and mess around for a couple of hours, but you'll have fun doing it.
Right.
You'll enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, my only complaint was, like I was talking earlier, I guess in the earlier levels, I didn't feel like there was any puzzles. It was just,
dropping everything.
But like you said, it was still satisfying doing that, and it's fun. And there is a little challenge. Which one do I have to do first? And I don't know. Is there any timing challenges on the trophy?
I don't think so.
Right.
Now, I'd say the most challenging trophy you'll actually have to come across, actually two, matter of fact, is there's one where you actually have to make a special soup. And essentially what that will entail is you'll know it when you see it, but there's a specific amount of ingredients that have to go into this stew, and then not only do you have to make it, but there are roaches crawling around on the floor and you have to keep them out of it before they taint it.
Okay.
So if you figure out the patterns to it and you understand what you need, which I honestly, if I'm not mistaken, you can figure out what you need on the back wall. Like, it clearly gives it to you. You just have to kind of read between the lines.
Right.
If I'm remembering that correctly, I don't want to give you wrong information, but I'm almost positive it's right there in the back. You look at it and be like, okay, I see what you're saying.
Right. So I guess the main thing is getting those and
understanding what they're telling you
and keeping
because
the
it's
roaches
there.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my only complaint, was like I wanted to feel more, just a little more of a challenge.
Right. Plus, at the end, like I said, the ending that you actually have a boss battle.
Yeah, is it? I've seen something about that. Yeah, I ain't gonna say anything about it.
It's definitely odd because you're like, well, this is not what I was doing before, but it doesn't feel out of place either.
Right.
Because you still have the same mechanics, you just have to work them into what you're doing to defeat the boss. So that one can be a little challenging, but I won't say it's impossible. It's just you have to kind of pace yourself just a little bit, and you'll be fine.
Right.
Because I think I probably would have gotten it the first time had I not gotten a little ahead of myself, and it's fairly easy, I think, to do. So
right.
It won't take too much time to go back and do it anyway. So if you have to replay, but
yeah.
Anyway, that's our show.
That's it. Double game review out of the way.
That's right.
First in our history.
That's right. But hey, we did it.
We did it. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
Wish they could see that. We should take a picture.
Yeah, we should. Maybe next time. We'd like to thank all of our listeners who come back every week and show their support. Your interest in supporting our show is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support our show, you can go to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions or pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com and click Become a Patron in the top right-hand corner. Also, if you have a topic you'd like to discuss, something you want to share, just say hi. You can hit us up on Twitter at SuperMegaCrash or drop us a line at supermegacrash@gmail.com. Listen to this and other shows like Fandom Ultra 2000 on the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network, found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
I am Todd Stark.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.